Okay, today we're going to be talking about lists. So, what are lists? Lists are, you understand what lists are now? Creating a list. Maybe you want to go to market to get something, create a list of what you want to get: the apple, the fruits, the meat, the stew, the ingredients, So, that is basically how that is what basically what list means. So, let's go to HTML and create our list. So, when creating lists in HTML, two tags are required: the list declaration tag and the list item tag. So you create the list where the list is going to be then the items in the list. That is what those two things mean. Okay, so there are two type of lists. Yes, the ordered list and the unordered list. The ordered list is numbered. For example, number one, number two, number three, number four. So that's what ordered list means. Then the next is the unordered list. What is the unordered? The unordered list does not have any. The unordered list does not have any numbering. It simply takes style. For example, dot or box or star or heart. So that is what the unordered list is. So we'll see that in the examples. So the next list item, so that is the denotation of the list item tag. So the list item tag, it is a direct child of the list declaration tag, and it is used to define an item in a list. So let's go back to the TradeEdit app. Okay, let's remove this previously repeated code. Let's remove this whole. Let's remove that and name it. Let's call it lists. Let's call it lists. So below this list, let's create a list. Let's create the ordered list first. So ordered list tag, then the list item. Let's call this first list. Let's call this first list position holders. So let's call this, let's say, Abel. Then the next list item be Damian, and the next list item will be Sarah. Okay, let's go ahead and create another list. Library tag to give it some spacing. Then each one, let's call it fruits to eat. Then below, let's create another list with list item banana. The second one should be apple. The third one should be orange. Okay, so we'll see the difference in a few seconds. Save that, run it. As you can see, the first one, the ordered list starts from 1, 2, 3. So the first position order is Abel, second Damian, third Sarah. But here the first is banana, apple, orange. But there's no 1, 2, 3. Instead, there's a dot, dot, dot. So you can change this style using CSS. You can also change it using HTML, but I would not like to show you that here and still show you the same thing in CSS class. So just know this first. Then there's an attribute I would like us to use in the ordered list tag. So the attribute is called stats. So like I said, attributes, when using HTML attribute, there's the attribute value. So let's open a new tab for that. So talk about attributes. So let's call it attr.html. save. Okay, so let's create the new files. Then we'll put the HTML snippet. Then attributes normally are meant to be attribute value. Okay, so attribute name first, then it's equal to, so the attribute name is supposed to be equal to the attribute value enclosed in quotation marks. So this is the basic syntax of attributes. So that's what I'm about to do in that place. So the same thing you see here, lang is an attribute in the HTML tag. So the value of that attribute is en. Charset has the attribute value of UTF-8. So that is what it's all about. So let's delete this file here. Delete. Then we'll come back and impute the attribute I was talking about. The attribute is start. So in case you don't want to be putting equals to quotation mark every time, ThreadEdit has made a shortcut for you. You click here, equal to quotation mark will appear instantly, and you put the start should start from, let's say, 6, and let's see the magic. You can see it's no longer starting from 1, 2, 3. So Abel is no longer first, Damian is not second, Sarah is not third. Instead, Abel is 6th, Damian is 7th, and Sarah is 8th. So that is what that start attribute does to the ordered list tag. So that is all for lists. Hope you learned something new.